Australians of Reddit, what is the scariest encounter you've had with one of the native animals? I had just come home after a long bicycle ride. I took my shoes off and just forgot to bring them inside afterwards. 2 days later I was about to go on another bicycle ride, so needed my shoes. I put my left one on with no problems, but felt something a little squishy when putting my foot into my right shoe. I immediately took my foot out to discover it to be covered in at least 100 baby spiders, and a larger redback spider came scuttling out of the shoe. Don't leave your shoes outside, or at the very least check them, unlike me. GAHHHH nightmare fuel. I was driving on a straight unsealed road through barren land and had not seen anything on the road or to either side for about half an hour when I had to decelerate heavily to avoid driving into a group of half a dozen emus who were startled and who scattered in all directions. I think you mean they took military action and stealthily dispersed as the enemy approached from the south. They never signed a declaration of peace. The war rages on for the evasive emu population. I was driving to the Principality of Hutt River, so my driving may have appeared to them to be an international act of aggression. While I was mowing, saw a snake. Thought it was a red-bellied black snake, get them all the time. So I took a stick and hit the ground near it to scare it off. Fucking thing arced up, hissed and charged at me. I took off. It was a tiger snake. They're aggressive bastards too. Had one rear up at me when I was looking for my ball at the golf course one day. I'll let him keep it. Dude, I hear a lot of people talking about how North American snakes, both non and venomous, chased them and were aggressive and have to really poo-poo them, since our snakes just want to take off and be let alone. Aussie snakes though, nope, they 300% want to wreck your day for looking at them wrong. Got chased by a black mamba. And those motherfuckers can climb trees and swim too. If it wasn't for being close to the tractor, I probably wouldn't be typing this right now. And yeah, they are basically as fast as a normal human can run. Africa, one more thing, they will fuck you up just to fuck you up. No provocation needed. Yeah, tiger snakes will chase. Mean fuckers. Not a nice mistake to make. Just out of curiosity, in case I visit Australia one day, can they catch up with an adult running at average speed? Unrelated, is Australia safer if I brought a slower friend? Not really. When a tiger snake chases, they are doing it defensively, so they will have their head raised, which cuts their top speed more than in half. In reality, they don't actually want to catch you. It's more just a last-ditch effort to make themselves appear scary and hopefully get you to leave. Similar to the concept of a human raising their arms and screaming to scare a bear or mountain lion away. They don't really have the comprehension to know that their venomous bite can absolutely kill your ass. They're just panicking like you and think they have no other options than to charge you. When I was studying abroad in the sunny coast, I went for a jog and had a brown snake slither in front of me on the trail. I don't know for sure what kind of snake it was, but it was colored brown. All I could think was, if I die 5,000 miles from home, my mom is gonna be pissed. I'm still annoyed that it's called a brown snake. The fucker is venomous as all hell. Let's just call it a brown snake. Nothing to see here. All it is brown. Came home from work and went to step outside to enjoy the garden when I noticed an intense buzzing. I look down and there's a spider wasp and a huntsman spider having a Godzilla, King of the Monsters showdown, wrestling all over the patio area. The spider wasp stung the huntsman into submission and dragged it over to a hole in the wall. I later learned that the spider wasp lays her eggs in the barely living body and uses it as an incubator. Nice. In another huntsman incident, the one I keep in my garage dropped into my lap from the sun visor in my car as I reversed out of my driveway. I screamed for a bit before scooping him up and popping him back in the garage. I warned him not to get in my car again. Anyone watching would have found a grown man lecturing a fucking huge spider a bit weird. I do generally like them though, hence not killing it. I've also been chased by an emu while cycling a few times. They're fucking deranged. WTF. Where do you cycle? Did you tell the emu not to chase you again without a helmet? Why would the emu need a helmet? To protect its emu head, of course. Lived in the outback. Was just minding my own business walking past the local cinema and a 6-foot emu came running out from behind a tree and nearly knocked me down. Scared the absolute crap out of me. Follow up, emus were not supposed to be in the township. There was a fence to keep them out, so town services had to forcibly evict it. They achieved this by driving up close to it, throwing a noose around its neck, quickly winding up the windows and slowly escorting it out of town. Bad idea. They are surprisingly strong, and it kicked in the whole side of the vehicle in the process. They must have been a rebel faction from the Great Emu War. Take me to the Great Outback, tell them I'll give the car a whack. Came home after 2 weeks away. My parents picked me up, unloaded my suitcase, loaded it up themselves, then left on holidays. That night, I was sleeping on my stomach, and a possum came in through the window and landed on the soles of my feet. I'm guessing he had pushed through the floor screen while I was away and had been sleeping in my room. All I knew is something big and hairy landed on me. I lashed out, and he went flying across the room. I left pretty quick and slept on the couch. Another one didn't scare me, but the wife. I saw 2 or 3 baby huntsman spiders about the size of a pinhead outside my bedroom. I saw maybe a dozen more in my bedroom. Then I walked into my end site. Huntsmans have about 200 babies at a time, and the remaining 185 were all in there hanging out. The wife made me go out at 11 PM for bug spray and still didn't sleep in the bedroom for another 4 nights. Went into my shed, no lights, only to find out it was full of redbacks with webs in every corner. Now I'm not scared of spiders, but holy Christ, half a bloody dozen were crawling all over me. Lucky I had some friends that were more than happy to smack them off. My usual response to people talking about burning down a building over spiders is sure, Jan, but in your case it might actually be called for. Is a redback the same as a black widow here in the States, or are they different? I checked a reference some lovely Aussie posted in the comments, but I can't honestly tell. Edit, spelling. No but yes. Totally different species, but function and look the same. Black body with wavy stripe vs hourglass. Unfortunately, while black widows are highly reclusive, almost always outside, and generally afraid of humans, redbacks give no fucks. Redbacks prefer residing in human dwellings, resist the cold, thus can be found on some form year-round, though males and juveniles are not as toxic, and frequently drop on humans instigating bites. They also fly on little balloons made of silk to disperse, which sounds cute, until you realize this means aerial warfare. Also they eat snakes and lizards. Edit, this has gotten some attention, so I'm going to drop some advice. Always know the venomous snakes and spiders of where you live. The DNR usually had an ID guide. It's the difference between is my dog going to die and calm down. It's a common brown house spider. About 5 years ago I was fully envenomated by a king brown while working on a remote mine site in the Pilbara, Washington. I had all sorts of side effects from the antivenin, including blindness. It took 2 years to fully recover. I'd like to know more please. What was the first symptom of the venom you noticed? Of the venom itself. Photophobic headaches and nausea within about 5 to 10 minutes. Limited gross muscle movement and O2 saturation dropped. After about an hour, I could feel the venom traveling through my system, particularly in my groin, kidneys, and glands. I feel so bad for you. I have photophobia and I know how bad the headaches are, even temporarily. A leech attached itself to my eyeball while I was hiking in the rainforest. My friends wanted to piss on it or light a match over it, but neither solution seemed ideal. So I waited while it wiggled about, filled up with blood, and finally dropped off an hour later. The following week I went on a date with one of the guys I met on that hike, even though I still had a zombie eye from the leech bite 10 years on. Last year, he and I went back to the place where he first looked me in the eye with that leech wiggling about, and we were married in the rainforest with our friends standing by. Edit, because you didn't want to see it, or did you? What your eyeball know? Shouldn't have a that. Okay. School canoeing camp out on the Murray River 6+ hours from civilization, taking a shit in a hole in the dark. Loud thumping behind me getting closer and closer and closer. Fucking kangaroos just seeing what's up, best shit I ever had. Walking through long grass like a moron with friends. Accosted by a large brown snake, turns out I can run pretty fast. Dad clearing weeds out the back of my parents' house, accosted by a large brown snake, fastest I have ever seen dad move. Neighbor knocks on our door. Tell us he just saw a large brown snake go into our yard. Dad goes to look, accosted by a large brown snake. Neighbor runs it over as he is backing out the driveway. At friends' house his dad starts getting excited, accosted by a large brown snake on the front lawn, kills it with a shovel in some stubby shorts and thongs. Way too casual about it. Largest/thickest snake I've seen in person to this day. Old boy just chopped it into 3 bits with a tiny shovel. Basically, you don't have to look far for a poisonous snake.